somebody who is hoping or wishing that they would be able to come through and make things right and resolve whatever argument there is between the two of you. But we have the King of Wands in the reverse, which kind of makes me feel like there is either insecurity or fear that makes this person question whether or not they would actually be successful. Or there's someone who feels like no matter what you say, no matter what you do, I'm not going to forget what you did. And that's just, how things are now. And I look at you differently because of that thing. So whether it was something that was said or something that was done or not done, this could be, like a bridge too far or doing too much where someone's finally considering maybe this friendship or this relationship needs to just be done. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. I'm trying to talk too fast. If you would like a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box along with more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. I think we will continue with... We're going to go with the Black Tarot because I do feel like there's some emotional distress here, and this card's art is a little bit more on like the introspective or maybe even sad side. Hello again, how are you doing? What else do we have about this person who feels like they can't make it right? Queen of Spears or Queen of Pentacles. And the Two of Wands. So there was this decision, and maybe the decision was say something or don't say something. Maybe the decision was show up or don't show up. But whatever decision they made pertaining to this Queen of Pentacles, which is probably you, they feel like they made the wrong choice. I said the wrong thing, I took it too far, or I shouldn't have walked away, I should have, hugged you, or I should have apologized. But now they're feeling like they took it too far and they're not sure how many apologies are required. Hello, Jim. How are you doing? Thank you. So this is someone who's trying to understand a different perspective, but maybe a little bit too in their head right now, or a little bit, it's like they're dealing with mental fog. We've got the Four of Pentacles or the Four of Spheres in the reverse. This is someone who has tried to let go of the situation altogether, but that only made them feel more upset. So it feels like they've kind of swung back around to, I want things to get better. I want to find a way to, be okay with you again. I just feel like it's so much work. I don't know how to approach the conversation, or I don't know how to convince you to trust me again. Page of Wands and the Ace of Swords, because I know that, and the Seven of Cups, I know that when I was telling you my truth previously, and it ended up not being accurate, or it ended up being an illusion, right? Hey Bhakti, you are blowing up the live chat, so I'm going to put you on a baby timeout, and please remember that when you're asking for somebody to do something for free, it's best to approach with gratitude and not spamming the live chat. Hello Mark, how are you doing? Hello Monsi, how you doing? Hello MDE, yes, this is Carmen, how you doing? Hello Abel, what's up? Hey Ben, I appreciate your beliefs. I'm just gonna put you in a little timeout and ask you to please not judge people in my live chat, or I will put you on a longer term timeout. Hello Chaya, how are you doing? Hello, is it MBA? Can I call you that? How are you doing? Okay. Hello, sweet. How are you doing? Hello, Milana. What's up? Hello, Preet. So we've got the Three of Swords in the reverse and the Ace of Spheres or the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So I had an opportunity to say something that was less hurtful, or I had an opportunity to tell you the truth. I had an opportunity to apologize for something else, but then it's like I dug in even deeper and made it worse for myself. I took an opportunity to resolve a problem and instead found a way to bring about another problem, right? Hello, sweet life. Yes, I do personal questions at about 30 or 35 minutes in after the general reading is done. So if you did super chat me with a question in the comments, I would write it on my list. And then once we get done with the general reading, I would answer that question for you. Hello, Mayank. Please don't put your personal information in the live chat. I don't need that to be able to read your energy. Hello, Pythak, how you doing? Hello, Y. Scorpions can surprise you with an attack. Do you mean Scorpio? Please stop repeating your personal information in my live chat. Hello, Tanu, how are you doing? Hello, Amy. I do personal questions at about 30 or 35 minutes in, with priority to those who tip or donate. But I also do long form readings if you want a more private setting for your questions. Hello, Dunn. How are you doing? Hello, Timex. We've got Knight of Spears, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and the Chariot in the reverse. Okay. It's like someone made this so easy. Like, I tell you what I need in order for something to be okay, and then you're just kind of like, I don't feel like it. Thanks, though. Maybe later. Someone who just, like, rejects, like, the easy button. Like, you could fix this real quick. No, I think I'm going to insult that person some more, or I'm going to, you know, remain silent and like punish them with the silent treatment, or make them really question whether or not I want to know them. Hello, Jennifer. How are you doing? Yes. Hello, Frost. How's it going? Hello, Dennis. What's up? Hello, Lakshmi. So we've got the King of Cups and the Four of Wands with the Lovers. Pretty significant choice that would have helped this person take things to the next level or repair what had been broken in this friendship or this relationship. But now it seems like because they failed to make the right choice when they face that crossroads, the person who feels like they haven't gotten the apology or they haven't seen things progress the way they should is faced with a crossroads of their own, where they're basically thinking, maybe I just need to keep it moving. Maybe this person isn't actually interested in making things better. Maybe they're not interested in addressing what caused the argument. Do you know my name? This is the Earth and Bone Oracle. What did I say? Crossroads. And we got crossed. Number 13, choices. Stuck. Searching for purpose. Daydreaming. Indecision. So because you didn't know what to do, because you haven't apologized, or because you don't want to take the opportunity to mend what has been broken, then I will just like remove that option from the table, you know? Hello, Varma. How are you doing? The Stand. Courage, determination, and fearlessness. If you don't want to make things right, then I will learn what I need to from that situation and move forward. So we could have someone kind of coming to terms with or accepting the fact that there is a different energy between this other person and themselves, and it may warrant just accepting that was the time that I had with that person, whether it was platonic or romantic, and that's okay. There were still some awesome things about that, right? Hello, ST, how are you doing? Hello, Anugrah? I don't know how to say that. Anugraha? How are you doing? Thank you. Hello, Grandpa, what's up? Oh, Daddy's not okay. You got other places for that kind of thing. Why don't you go find them? So we have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse and the Six of Cups in the reverse and the Queen of Swords in the reverse. What did this person say to you? Because it was not very nice. Someone slipped into very immature habits. Maybe they didn't used to, well, let's put it this way. Maybe they struggled for a long time with how to approach conversations with accountability and respect and, you know, not looking to trying to like insult someone or do any name calling. It's like this person reverted back to something that they had changed or something that they had tried to hold back that you didn't know they were capable of. But the way they lash out or the way they find some way to mess with you, it was designed to be hurtful. And then they have this chance to apologize. They have this chance to make things right. And instead of thinking about how important you are to this person, they were thinking about how important it is for them to win. This is someone who thinks it's more important to be right than it is to be loving or caring or supportive. Maybe that's a real serious statement there, but that's what this is saying. Temperance in the reverse. The instability or the arguing between us is worth it because I don't want to give in and say that you were right. I don't want to make it seem like I was wrong because that's just like too far for me. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing? And as a result, this person's pride or their inability to say that you were right or they were wrong, it leads to loss. You are not wrong, Dun. I don't know if I'm supposed to say Dunates, but you let me know. If I did not mention it, this is the Pulp Tarot, by the way. So we have the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Anxiety, defensiveness. I don't want you to judge me. I don't want you to make me feel like I have to say that I was wrong or you were right. But I also want to feel like the two of us are okay. So how does that work? How do I get us back to being friends or back together? Excuse me. Without having to admit that I was wrong, because I don't like doing that. And it seems to me like your response was, oh gosh, look at that. I just like don't have the time for that. Or, hey, you know what? Craziest thing, this computer system, it just like, it won't let me accept that. You have to either work on this and address what happened, or it doesn't exist anymore. That opportunity goes away. Hello, Rohit. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good one, Rachel. Hello, Derek. How are you doing? That's correct. I do not. How are you doing, John? We've got the Three of Wands. The Four of Cups. Yeah, this is like, okay, well, I guess it's over then. And Strength in the reverse. So you don't want to work on things. You want to stay in the little like reality you created for yourself where everything you say is right. Then I think I probably have to leave you to it. You can enjoy that, but I'm out here like actually trying to learn from things and grow as a person. So you just don't really feel like this is someone who understands what's important because they're so fixated on being right. So let's get a few from the Tarot of the Cat people. And thank you for liking and subscribing. Good question, Donatez. So I do a general reading for the first 30 minutes, sometimes 35 minutes. And a lot of people will resonate with parts or all of the reading, but not everyone. And then at that like 30 or 35 minute mark, I look at if I have a list of personal questions. I do the personal questions that folks who have tipped or donated have asked. And every once in a while, I do also like to do some freebies. So So yeah, I guess that kind of answers Jennifer's question too. This is a general reading. Hello, Amy. How are you doing? We have the Eight of Swords and the King of Swords in the reverse. Hello, Marit. How are you? Hello, Josie. And the Two of Swords. So, you know, I'm proud of you because it does feel to me like you've had a pretty significant change in your boundaries or your willingness to like reinforce them. And it could have been falling into old habits for you if you had decided to stick around and deal with somebody who wasn't willing to be respectful towards you. But you see this or you hear this, whatever they say or do or don't do, it makes you quite clear on their character, their intentions, and that's why you were really wanting to see how they would talk to it or speak to it, if they were going to apologize, if they were going to own it, that kind of thing. When you see a failure to act or a, you know, remaining kind of silent because I don't really want to talk about it, then that's like your sign, right? Exactly. So they know there's something they need to do. Three of Wands in the reverse, but they don't do it. I know I should probably be calling you. I know I should probably be apologizing to you, but then they don't. Hey, Grandheart, how you doing? Oh, I'm afraid you're wrong on that, YOLO, but I hope you're having a good day anyways. Hello, Laura. Hello, Harara. How are you doing? Oh, Luke, Jesus loves you too, and I hope you can learn to be a little bit more positive and connect with others. First recommendation would be just maybe don't yell at people in their live chat. But I do hope that you have a good rest of your day. So we also have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Cups as well. So you are thinking about long term. It's not even just like it's really important for me to have a sense of belonging, or I really want to be in a relationship, or I really want to have, you know, this best friend is somebody that is willing to go do the hobbies that I enjoy, or they like to travel or whatever. This is really about what kind of caliber person am I including in my life? Who are the folks that are in my inner circle, and can I trust them, right? If I can't, then why are they in my inner circle, right? So I don't blame you. This is someone who wasn't really interested in making things right, so you had to take a hint from that, right? Oh, I hope you have a wonderful time, Nausicaa. Ooh, I don't know if I can identify a favorite. This is probably unfair, Nausicaa, because it's a skull, but I'm pretty sure this is pyrite. I love this dude. It's just, you know, it's like a heavy one too. I have a little one, and I can't remember what this is called, but it's a mini skull. But the truth is, I just enjoy all of those things. And maybe I'm just a little bit too, I'm amused easily, you know? Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Hello, Amber. How are you doing? Hello, Steven. Interesting question. If I had to dye my hair, which color? Asks Angelina. Angelina, I haven't dyed my hair in a long time, but for a while I had a little bit of an obsession with what I call cherry cola, where it would be like a little bit darker than it is up here, and then like vivid red at the bottom. You know, cherry cola. But I don't do that anymore. It takes too much to keep it up. It's like a whole other job. But that is what I used to do. Hello, Sundar. How are you doing? Hello, Daniel. What's going on? That's okay, Laura. We've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, the Ace of Wands, and the Chariot in the reverse. Everything seems to be saying you're not interested in things moving forward because you gave them the chance to make this right, and instead they chose to fumble that, or they chose to ignore or continue on with the silent treatment, expecting you to be the architect of the piece, you to be the one who started the conversation, or, you know, said, hey, let's just put this behind us. When you and I think this other person both know that it's their responsibility because of whatever this thing is that they said or they did. I do feel like there is some concern that this is someone who's worried about what other people think about this as well. So that could be one other part of what they're thinking. You know, if we don't end up being friends, or if we don't end up in the relationship, am I going to lose out in other ways as far as that social energy, right? Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Hello, Danushka. Is it Danushka? How are you doing? Oh, it's not full of skulls. It's full of paintings. There's a painting on the wall with a woman sitting in a meadow with a bunch of flowers, and her hair is like going upwards. I'm not really sure. I think it's supposed to convey that she's a part of the nature. Yeah, no, you gotta be scared. But I do like skeletons. Hello, Mira. How are you doing? Not Uno cards, but that's adorable. Hello, Dylan. How are you doing? We all ask. I agree with that. So we've got the Fool and the King of Pentacles. A person who's deciding to head in a new direction, or to, you know, create that stability or that sense of groundedness on their own. If things don't go the way that they, you know, that I'd hoped they would, that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. There's other ways for me to travel. There's other places for me to go. There's other people for me to meet. Your life is not wrapped up with this person so much so that you can't be happy without them. Okay? Hello, how's it going? Is that a different Daniel, or is it the same one? I can't tell, but it looks like you're calling yourself Danny. Hello, Danny. I do personal questions after the general reading with priority to those who tip or donate. Hello, Bubbling. How are you doing? We've got Wheel of Fortune and Nine of Cups in the reverse. So you're willing to move forward because you know that this is not what you want. If this is someone who is not interested in communicating with you in an honest way, there's not a lot of hope for you to feel like you can trust this person. So Nine of Cups is in the reverse, perhaps because you view them as selfish, or perhaps because you know that this is not the kind of connection that you want to have. The Wheel of Fortune is about moving on, seeing what else is out there, and change. So some of you may be moving, some of you may be starting a new job, or it might just be about your social situation changing, who you want to spend your time with and where you spend your time, right? Oh, you called me child. That's cute. I'm going to ask you to be kind. Your name does say blessings in it, so I would hope that you could be a blessing on others, right? Oh, you're just going to be angry. I'm sorry about that, but I do hope your day gets better. You can come back sometime if you want to be friendly, or at least tolerant. Hello, Erkin. How's your day going? Hello, Ruhi. How are you doing? What else do we have? We have the Knight of Cups and the Two of Swords. So there could be some frustration with the fact that at one point you were making an offer to this person, or you were interested in being close to them, and then they feel like you're going to change on a dime, and all of a sudden you've decided you're not interested. I don't think that's entirely fair. I think they're trying to minimize the difficulties that the two of you have gone through, and certainly avoid accountability for the things that they said or did. They probably won't tell people what they did to push you to the point where you're willing to walk away, because they'd rather focus on the fact that they think you made that decision too quickly. So when people have to edit the story in order to feel good about how they treated you, that's a pretty big sign right there that they're not interested in transparency, right? Not interested in being a person of integrity throughout the arguments or the difficulties that you face. Hello, Donaldson. How are you doing? Thank you for subscribing. Hello, Sukani, or Sukanya? I don't know if I've got your name right, but I hope you're having a good day. I'm glad to hear that, Erkin. Hello, Amy. Oh, I did say hello to you. I remember with the 84. Thank you for saying that. Hello, bestie Tiana. How we doing? So we've got magnetic waves, unexplainable pull, can't resist, and emotions coming and going. This person thought that you would view them as irreplaceable, or that you would tolerate a lot of their immature behavior because they feel like they add so much to your life. This could be someone who's a little bit unrealistic with themselves as far as what role they play in other people's lives. They might be a little bit self-important or a little bit self-absorbed, right? Yes, I would agree with that. Ooh, I hope you have an amazing time, Matt. I am jealous. I have definitely been made fun of a few times for liking Limp Bizkit, but I don't really care. You know, we like what we like. We have the divine masculine and intervention. So there is someone here who is probably providing a good sounding board for you, where you're able to talk about what's going on, what feels right, and what is maybe upsetting you, processing what options are available to you. So it's not like you're some, you know, hermit here who's not got anybody to talk to about this decision. But I do feel like you're pretty decisive. Maybe someone just needs to give you a little nudge or a little confirmation. You're like, you know what? All right, I think that's probably enough, right? I do randomly, but not on request. My favorite Whitney song? That's tricky. I always like the one, I Want to Dance with Somebody. Is that what it's called? But I also liked her later album. I can like picture the image on it. It was like bright, and I feel like it was the hotel one, right? Heartbreak Hotel? Is that the album? There's some good ones on there too, but I really like the older stuff. What's up, Grindhard? How you doing? So again, with the insatiable energy, someone who cannot resist being around you, but also probably kind of like projects that onto you. Feels like you would look at them as irreplaceable, someone you cannot fathom moving forward on without them. This person's a little bit into themselves. And you know what? It's okay to be a little bit into yourself, but like this is maybe more than that. Because they're not willing to do right by this. Archangel Michael, protection, prevented from harm, divine intervention. I feel like this is protective. I feel like this person is not invited to your next chapter. I do think a lot of you are moving, or they may be moving, but you're not going to be on the same path because you're not supposed to be. This is someone who could be a distraction or like a block or an obstacle to what you're supposed to do or what is meant for you. So let's get a few from the Golden Lenormand. That's a good one too, Dylan. Oh, that's awesome. Hello, Lasso. You might be disappointed if you're looking for magic card tricks. But there's some cool people in the live chat, so, you know, it might still be worth it. We got number 6, which talks about the clouds or like ambiguity, right? Not necessarily knowing what's really going on. This is by design. Whoever you're dealing with likes to leave confusion or likes to delay conversation, likes to maybe even purposefully distract you with questions that aren't related because they don't want to talk about the meat and potatoes. They don't want to talk about the reason that you're mad at them. They don't want to talk about how they need to change or that they might need to apologize. They want you to be loyal to them, but they are not reliable or loyal to you. So it's an unfair partnership where expectations are skewed. I expect you to do everything the right way and perfect way towards me, but I'm not necessarily going to be a good friend to you. And you may have an opportunity to move, or they may be moving. But I do see some distance between these two people, whether it's romantic or platonic, the way these two are involved. This distance is by design because this person's not meant to be in that next chapter with you. Hello, how's it going? That's a different Laura, right? Let's see what else we've got with the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. Oh, sorry, wait, this one's the Poe Tarot. What else do we have? I like that. You're right. That is a pretty good magic trick, right? With the help of some pretty great moderators, right? So we've got the Ace of Candles, which is the Ace of Wands, and the 10 of Candles, or the 10 of Wands. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. When I think about the energy that well, this is like you, right? Talking about your own capabilities, your own potential, the things that you could achieve, whether it's professionally or even socially. There's a lot of magical energy around you, and it's going to mean that there are sometimes people who get jealous of you, or sometimes people who feel like they need to somehow find a way to control you. But you're starting to see that this is someone who has really mostly been about themselves and not really put forth the energy that would indicate that they truly care for you. So we have this card that says, "And all I loved alone," which tells me you have this energy that you've given to this friendship or this relationship that has not been returned to you, or somebody has been taking it for granted. And you're starting to realize that you can use that energy in a different, probably more productive or successful way. Some of you realize that if you're not in this relationship, or if you're not best friends with this person, that you can finally move to the beach or the mountains or somewhere with snow. I don't know. It's like you're able to choose what you want instead of feeling guilty about what it is that people expect from you, right? Hello, Jessie. How are you doing? We've got the 3 of Paws, or the 3 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wells, or the 8 of Cups, and the Page of Paws, which is the Page of Pentacles. With these materials and with the aid of my trowel, I began vigorously to wall up the entrance of the niche. This is someone who's hiding evidence. Does that sound somewhat applicable here? Because we have a person who is hoping that you just like forget about what was said, or don't have to talk about what needs to change, or expect an apology. This is like, let's just forget the past. You know, we can just pretend that nothing happened. Why? Because I don't want to admit that I was wrong. Because I'm pretty confident that you can't tell me to leave, even if I'm not being a good friend to you or not a good partner. They're too confident, and then they end up realizing that you do have what it takes to walk away from this person. If they're not going to treat you right, you're not interested in sticking around. Quoth the raven, nevermore. I'm not interested in that. It feels like you're taking me for granted. So it's probably time for me to reclaim that power, that energy, and find something else to be putting my energy into. Upon my touching him, he immediately arose, purred loudly, rubbed against my hand, and appeared delighted with my notice. This, then, was the very creature of which I was in search. This is saying, I feel like I'm going to know when it's someone that I can trust and someone that is a good friend, or someone that I could see myself dating for a long time, and this ain't it. You're not interested in addressing things that are problems, but you have like a different set of rules for yourself. So maybe you've just grown to accept that you don't need as many friends as you used to, or maybe you're much more comfortable being single than you were previously. But I see there being a lot of confidence here that enables you to walk away from people who are unhealed or unwilling to be honest and accountable, right? Hello, Black Lion. How are you doing? Oh, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hello. Ooh. How's it going? Is it Manu? How are you? So we've got the caught in a compromising position. So whether this is someone who was caught in a lie or somebody who was caught hanging out with someone they shouldn't have been hanging out with, because we also have the promiscuous card. For some of you, this is a friend who likes to compete with you romantically. If you like someone, they like that someone too. If you used to date someone, they want to date that person too. That's a little weird. Or this is somebody who feels like intimidated by you. Maybe they want to be with you themselves. But we have someone who watches to see who you spend time with and gets jealous or possessive of you, either from a friendship standpoint or like because they feel like you should be more. Maybe jealous that you moved on. But this is someone who did not handle your connection the right way. And when you get the invitation to move up or to move literally out of state or out of city, you're like, yeah, I think I have to do that. That's what I've been waiting for. But I'm not going to include that other person because I can't trust them. This is the character oracle. Let's see what else we get for you. Hello, A, how are you doing? I hope you can learn how to be respectful in live chat, sweetheart. Hello, Oriano. My name is Carmen. I'm going to remove your comment and encourage you to call me Carmen. Hello, Ophi. How are you doing? What else do we have? Learner, seeker of knowledge, inquisitive, progress, aspirant, and explorer. So your curiosity is a very important skill set, and maybe you feel like it's just one of those things that results in you staying on the internet and looking up details far longer than you should on something that happened in the past. But your inquisitiveness or your curiosity is something that helps you to notice things that are very important and helps you to be more discerning when you're dealing with people who are not trustworthy. So I feel like there is this reputation that you have started to build where people look up to you and feel like you are very wise. You know what to do and you know how to approach it. Not only that, you know when to walk away when something is not right. So there's something very emperor energy about you that people are starting to notice, where you're not willing to sacrifice on the rules of engagement, or, you know, if you want to be in my inner circle, then, you know, we have to actually be able to trust each other. People are looking at you as somebody who knows how to do things the right way. Hello, real one. How are you doing? I don't know what you're asking there. Yeah, they can be pretty eye-opening, Dylan. Oh, thank you, Laura. That's so kind of you. Rules of engagement. I mean, you know, it's usually for like sales teams and stuff, but hey, we can apply it. Hello, Inner Peace. How are you doing? That's funny. So we have friend and clergy. Keeper of trust, companion, support, sharing joy, guardians of faith, religion, morality, compassion, and sacred mission. You may feel like you don't have a ton of friends, but the friends that you do have are like legit. This is why it's important to have that discerning energy. Oh, thank you for joining the memberships, Amy. I really appreciate that. That gets you access to all the additional shorts for the members and also some long form readings. It is. So I feel like even though you're walking away from someone who has not been trustworthy, for many of you, you meet someone else right around the corner who is, or you're being reminded that you do have a pretty amazing inner circle, even if this person gets booted from them, right? So Jonathan is asking how I choose which tarot decks or oracle decks to use, and in some cases it's because there's like a specific card that I'm looking to see if it comes out. Sometimes that's to confirm if we have twin flame. I think there's like maybe 5 or 6 of those that I have. Sometimes it's because I know that I want a deck that has like more precise thoughts versus the imagery that I rely on with the tarot. And then also sometimes it's mood based. If I know that somebody is coming through as, you know, kind of upset or sad, I would choose a deck like the Black Tarot like I did today, because the imagery lines up with the energy that I'm feeling. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm glad to hear that. That's very cool. And Amy, did you say you had a question? Hello, K-Twigs, or K-Wigs, sorry, how are you doing? Hello, Archie, I hope you're having a good day. Oops, where'd you go? So do not be too worried about if this person is unwilling to be good to you or whether or not they're willing to do right by you, because you are protected. For some of you, I'm seeing there is protection from, you know, the other side, or you have a very protective individual in your family. But we do have this sense that you're well versed in how to walk away from somebody who has not been able to appreciate why they should be honest and open with you and willing to work with you on the things that need to be worked on, right? So awesome. Hello, great Suraj, how are you doing? Hello, Kevin, what's going on? Did I say hello, Vedant? Let's see what we've got. The honesty is a key element, don't you think? I'm glad to hear that. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I do hope that when I choose decks for people with the personal questions that it makes sense somehow, either with what they're going through or what they like. K-Wigs is asking, is the offer coming in this week? No, I see within 3 weeks. There's somebody here who messed things up, quoted the wrong time or quoted the wrong number, said something was done when it wasn't, but this is getting worked out. I'm glad to hear that. Hello, Poor, how are you doing? So Donatas, the initial like dichotomy you probably need to know about is there are tarot decks and there are oracle decks. If you have a tarot deck, there are 78 cards, and even though they may vary as far as the imagery, they all have like a King of Cups, for example. They might be a King of Chalices or a King of Wells, but they align to the 4 different types of astrological signs: water signs, air signs, fire signs. What am I missing? You guys, which one did I not say? Air signs, water, fire, earth. Did I not miss, or did I do that one? Oh, thank you for joining, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Okay, so what guidance does Amy need regarding whoever is hacking the phone, who they are or how to stop them? We have the World, which can refer to the internet. The King of Pentacles in the reverse, Knight of Cups in the reverse, and the Eight of Pentacles. So I do feel like this is someone who is either like you met because of working together, or you met because of someone else working with this person. This is someone who is very moody, someone who is having financial issues or is just known to be bad with money. This is someone who's already argued with you. Someone who is sharp, how they speak, so perhaps a little bit rude. This person may have a child. We have the Hanged Man in the reverse. They're very immature. They don't like to learn from their lessons. Not that they would phrase it that way. I think they would say something like, I am who I am, you know? Like, well, congratulations, but I hope at some point you realize that, like, you could be, like, a better, like, you could work on yourself a little bit and be a, you know, okay, no? Okay. This is someone who is, I think, very secretive but likes to be seen as wise. They keep secrets because if people knew what they were really up to, they wouldn't be as impressed. I hope that's helpful. Why are they hacking? Seven of Wands. The Chariot. Something to do with a legal case. It could be trying to make themselves look innocent or trying to make someone else look guilty. But I do feel like there's some sort of legal interaction here with the Chariot. Hello, Maria. Interesting comment. Oh, goodness. Hello. Oh, thank you for that, Lasso Kid. I appreciate that. So, Amy, you're going to want to make sure that, of course, you're doing what you can to keep information locked down that you do have control over. But I also feel like this inability to figure out who it is not going to last very long. Four of Wands in the reverse, Page of Wands. I feel like somebody who is outside of your normal group of people is either going to randomly guess what's going on or have insight that you may be surprised by. So that's interesting. Could be like a coworker or a family member you didn't really plan on talking to about it. All right, y'all, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Thank you for hyping the video if you're able to, and I will see